What up, what up, what up, what up? Once again, it's your favorite podcast, Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg, joined with my co-host, Byron Evans, Buff. And, of course, we got a Razi Mancarella, a.k.a. Razi, on the line. Fellas, tell them what's going on with you.
What's going on, everybody? Ferg, did you know that we were in the midst of a somewhat celebrity? Mr. Razi over here is the Alabama Leadership Initiative panel, whatever. What you got going on over there, Razi?
Yeah, man. So I was selected for the third class, the 2019-2020 class of the Alabama Leadership Initiative. So basically what it does is it lets me go and I get 3 kind of off sites where we go and we learn about leadership and basically it's almost like a JV for the folks that are trying to make moves in the state as far as talking to lawmakers and things like that. So we'll get a chance to talk to all the state lawmakers. We'll probably see the U.S. senators for Alabama, the congressmen and women from Alabama. They'll stop through. We'll kind of rub elbows a little bit, but it's a chance. It's almost like an incubator for anybody that's thinking about going into political office and stuff like that. It's a way for you to kind of get in with those folks and try to make some changes and change policy. So it's a little bit of a think tank. So during the offsites, we have to take an issue that is happening for the state and try to find out a way to fix it that's new or different and things like that. So it's going to be pretty cool, man. I'm really honored to be able to join the class and get the exposure. And we'll see. I'll let you guys know how it is once I actually go to one of the offsites.
Congrats on that, man. Big congrats.
Congrats, man. I'm proud of you. Now, I do have to say that picture looked like your 1999 prom picture, dude.
It's my headshot, my professional one. I started to just take like a selfie and throw it up there, but I was like, you know what? Let me actually send the headshot in. I'm all shaved and everything. I haven't been shaved like that since 2-3 months ago. Last time I had drill. So we'll see next time I shave.
Okay, one time for beer gang.
Beer gang. There it is.
Let's go.
So I don't know if that was Razi. Was that yours and Buff's, or do you still got something you want to talk about, man?
Nah, man.
Yeah, I put him on the spot.
He did. But nah, that's what's going on with me right now, man.
Well, for me, I'm just saying I am pissed living in this great state of Texas. And not even a week after this Amy Geiger case, we're dealing with another police shooting, and it's scary, infuriating, mind-boggling all at the same time because there's no answers. And I mean, I guess I'm pretty speechless on that. So I mean, be safe out there or in there or wherever you're at, and stop being stop forgiving people. That's my. Stay angry. Hey, this is what I do have to say. If anything ever happens to me, no hugging, no kissing, no kumbaya. I need a riot. I want all that good stuff. I want T-shirts. I want it all. No forgiving.
T-shirts. So, we got you on the T-shirts for sure.
Yeah.
All I got is T-shirts?
I said that we definitely got that. I'm not negating the rest. I'm just saying the T-shirts are definite.
Yeah.
Hey, don't be forgiving, what we're praying for whoever shot him, no.
But no, before we jump to the commercial though, we're like recording this early in the week, and as of now, and you two may know better than I, but I saw a report saying that she was reaching in the purse for a gun, and that's why the officer shot. That right there doesn't make a lot of sense because I thought he said all he saw was a silhouette. Now he could see clear enough to where she's reaching in the purse to grab a gun. And even if she was, he didn't announce himself. He was on her property. And, I mean, you hear somebody outside, you're going to get
reach for the gun. Yeah,
exactly.
That's what you do.
Who's that? I'm just saying, like, you're peeping through somebody's window and you're surprised that they're trying to defend their home in Texas.
Exactly.
Like everybody in Texas has guns. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm going to leave it at this. Based off what I'm hearing about the body cam footage, there was enough time to process all that for him.
Correct.
You know, so it's so many loose ends. He resigned as he should.
He's been arrested now.
But you know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to start a freaking grassroots GoFundMe. He's going to make more money this year than he's probably made in his life. It is what it is. It's America, y'all. America.
Yeah. So, before we go over and get all these endorsements, I do want to send some hopes, thoughts, prayers. We've got a missing 3-year-old here in Birmingham. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Yeah.
By the time the episode releases, hopefully she'll be found. They caught the 2 people that they suspect abducted her, but they still haven't found her. So if by the time the episode drops, if she hasn't been found, you guys keep praying, keep a lookout for it, and just check that Amber Alert. Really do act like, I don't know if y'all saw the video about how they want us to react. That skit, yeah. How they want us to react when the Amber Alert. Actually do that for this one, man. Get out there, look, see if you see her, try to memorize her face so that if they stop at a gas station, they stop anywhere, you see her, you can actually contact somebody.
Definitely, man. And Razi, I'm not in Alabama, so keep us posted on that. If you hear anything, please be the bearer of good news, hopefully. So definitely we'll be praying for a speedy return, safe return. So with that being said, let's pay some bills, fellas.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Welcome back. Once again, your favorite podcast, Three Brothers No Sense. And it's my favorite time of the show. It's question time. So I guess we'll get right into it. I know we talk about our spouses a lot, fellas, and we're all happy to be married. You know, they probably could do a movie on Why Did I Get Married on us. I mean, we speak very highly of our wives. So with that being said, God forbid anything happen to your wives or anything like that. And I'm not wishing this on anybody, divorce. But for whatever reason, if you found yourself not married to your current spouse, could you see yourself doing this all over again? Would you? And why or why not?
Nope.
Razi, third time's a charm, team.
Nah. I'm already talked to Jenica about that one. We laugh about it sometimes, but I'm like, nah, I can't do a third time. Marriage is hard, man. It's hard work. It's stressful. I mean, it is. It's great. You know, there's nothing like being able to come home from a hard day's work, put the kids down to bed, lay down in the bed next to your spouse, and just laugh and joke about the day and let all that stress go. So having a spouse is great. Keeping a spouse is hard. Like, it's hard work. So always having to think about another person, put another person, thoughts ahead of yours, or at least on par with yours, making sure that they are aligned and you're moving as a unit instead of by yourself all the time. And so that's just hard work, man. So at this point in life, I think I'm good. I can just hit the strip club and let somebody strip for me, and then after that be done, come home and go back to the single life every once in a while.
So
Magic City done.
Yes.
So I'm saying, like, let's say no divorce. Let's say you don't go through a bad divorce. God forbid something happens to your spouse. You got 2 kids at home. You about to do it all on your own? Are you gonna get a nanny? Or?
I'll get a nanny, or something like that. Black nanny just come on full time, and we'll be good with that. Or I might do a Oprah Stedman type thing where, hey, we here, but we ain't married. So I always got that out. I don't think I'd get back into a full time 100% relationship, man. It's work. Nobody can live up to my baby. Jenica, I love you.
He had to come with a brownie point line.
That don't even add up. You were saying you were so adamant about nope, like it was the worst thing in the world. Nope, and all of a sudden, yeah, I love my baby. She's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Exactly. I still got to
buy into it.
Well, as Ferg puts us in a difficult position with this question because all three of our wives listen to this show. So thanks a lot for that, Ferg. I'm going to have to agree with Razi on that one, though. No, not only is marriage hard, it's also overrated. We can get into that if you guys like one day. But yes, I said it. Marriage is overrated. Wouldn't do it again. I
already know my question for next week. How did Tab respond to that comment?
I think she's heard me say that before, and she
not on the World Wide Web.
Obviously adamantly disagrees, but it is. I mean, come on. I mean, you exchange some rocks and metals, you exchange a couple of lines in front of a preacher, and then you get a piece of paper. Like Razi said, you can just do what Oprah and Stedman did, and it'd be all good. Like, marriage is overrated. It's a man-made thing. But anyway, the answer is no. I am good with Tabitha. She is like my best friend, so I'm very happy that I married her. But if something, in your hypothetical, if something happened to her, we separated or whatever, I don't need to do it again. I mean, I would find somebody that I genuinely like or love. We can, come to an agreement on what we decide to do, but going through the whole marriage thing, I think I'll pass. Good.
It don't matter what happened. There's no reason to ever do it again. Even if it was in a bad divorce,
Here's the thing: if I did it again, it would be because I don't want to die alone. And how selfish is that? Like, hey, come be with me the rest of my life because I might need somebody to wipe my ass from time to time. Like, hey, so.
Well, I know if you get divorced, it ain't gonna work. Because I remember one of the funniest comments I've ever heard you say is, I think we were in DC and you were telling Tab, if we ever split up, I want nothing but bad to happen to you.
Yeah, say that.
I wish you the worst luck in the world. I want you to get all kind of STDs. I want your next dude to beat you. I just want all kind of bad.
Guilty. I said all of that. I did.
I'm sitting there cracking up like, hey, I'm not a well wisher. If this don't work,
yeah.
Oh man.
I told her also, like, if I get in an accident and I perish, I said, on the movies how the woman was like, well, this is what Jake would want. He would want me to move on. That ain't me. I don't want to move on. Have my picture by the bed and mourn me. Mourn me.
Yes. That's what I told Jenica. She can't get married. She don't need to get remarried. I got enough insurance. I got her set up where she ain't got to work ever again. She ain't got to. I mean, she good. What you need another dude for now? Like, ain't no reason no more.
So we're gonna come back to that because I actually kind of wanted to have that on this. The second part of my question was, what if y'all did get a divorce? How would you feel about your spouse getting remarried? Because I have seen that bounce back. But for me, let me give my answer first.
Okay.
Nah, man, I can't see myself doing it again. For one, like you said, it's tough. Two, like I'll probably be too jaded or hurt or like comparing. And I think is a, if it ever happened, it would be much further down the line. Like I would have to be my late 50s, early 60s. Kids are out the house. I'm doing me and just finding somebody that a companion that I want to travel with and spend these last years with. And, we both established our own lives and stuff like that. But trying to reestablish and build over again, because I've seen it happen. I've seen people get remarried and start all the way over. I have a 4-month-old, 10 years from now, trying to get remarried and start all over with somebody who wants to have kids or whatever the case may be. Or, nah, man, I can't do all that. So, but the reason I asked that question is because somebody put a post and it was like, if we broke up and you're finer than you were when we broke up, we still together because that's not the way I left you. How you gonna get fired? But that's what these women do. They go out there and reinvent themselves, and I've seen it 1,000 times.
Maybe you were stressing them out. And so they were putting on weight because they was all stressed because of the relationship with you. And now the stress is gone. They can get back in the gym because they ain't got to worry about trying to cook you dinner and stuff like that. So they got more time. Like I said, relationships are hard, bro. And
I need my kids to wear them down.
See, you back in that Byron, you wishing bad.
I need you to wear your mama down. Like I just want her just go to work, go to church, and come home. Spend time with y'all. But how would you feel? Like, would you expect your spouse to remarry, especially if when you have kids involved, and especially that joint custody stuff's all fine and dandy, but usually somebody has to be that primary caretaker. Do you expect your spouse to remarry?
Tabitha probably would. I'm sure she would. Again, I don't want her to. But I think she would. She's always been the type of, although she could want to try something new. Who knows? She may want to have a few hot girl summers or whatever, but.
Which is worse.
So.
Like she out there.
Like we're going to get a swerve on or something. Yeah. I don't know. But
would you rather that or her to settle down with somebody else on a serious relationship?
I'd rather her become a nun.
Man, I've seen her some stories, man. Real quick, one of my homeboys was showing me this is probably like 6-7 years ago. It's like, do you know this dude? He used to work with you. Him and his wife are separated or going through a divorce. And I'm like, yeah, I know dude. He's pretty cool. He's been looking crazy lately, but I get it now. He's going through a divorce. He's like, yeah, but I'm messing with his wife or ex-wife. And he showed me pictures of this chick now. Like she reinvented herself. I mean, like it's explicit. Like the stuff that he had her doing, like sex swings, all kind of stuff. I'm like, Lord. First of all, I told him never to show that to anybody else again because that's how people die.
Yeah. That's how people get sued. That's called revenge porn or something, ain't it? Like, you got to be careful with that.
No. It was a revenge. Like, he was with her, not the ex-husband. This is her new young beau showing, like, I got this older chick reinventing herself. She's about that life. And that's just what I don't want. I don't want my wife reinventing herself and all of a sudden being about that life. It's a scary thought. So I don't know what the qualifications are to be a nun. Are there reformed nuns? Can nuns have kids?
Yeah, you can take the cloth at any point. So You just got to go through the stuff, like whatever it is, and all that other things that you did before. You lay them down, confess your sins or whatever, and say, I'm taking the cloth, or I'm, becoming a nun. And so you going forward, you're a nun.
What Jenica doing, Razi?
Right now, she's like right next to me. So if y'all hear,
the question,
but
okay,
get remarried.
Yeah. So she definitely probably won't get remarried if we divorced. Actually, if we get divorced, I want her to get remarried because I don't know, y'all ain't been through a divorce, and y'all don't understand the intricacies of divorcees and baby mamas and all of that. It's so much simpler when they're in a relationship. They are so much happier and they are so much easier to get along with when they're in a relationship.
So it's for selfish reasons.
So it's very much selfish reasons. Like I want her to be happy. And so
she's 30 years old. Of course she getting remarried.
Of course. You know how fine my wife is? Of course she get remarried. Like, or she gonna have a hot girl summer and have fun. One way or the other.
Busted wide open.
Yeah. But she ain't like stopping. But I think when you think about divorce, man, it really is the happier that spouse is, the easier that relationship is, because we all have kids. You got to think about that. So you have to maintain some type of relationship with that other person. So that ex-spouse, the better they're doing, the easier it is for you to interact with them. So I definitely want her to just go be happy, whatever she wants. If it's, going with somebody else, getting married again or whatever. Now, if I die, like I said, I got to set up. Ain't no need for that. I ain't. But once again, it's because of selfish reasons. I don't have to worry about your happiness no more. I just need you to be able to take care of my kids and stay in the house and, like Byron said, become a nun. That's what I'm on if I die. So there are two different things: divorce or death.
So if you're dead, your wife can't remarry.
Exactly.
If you're alive, you want her to remarry as soon as possible. You just want to pay alimony. That's all it is.
I don't have to pay alimony because Jenica has actually had a small business the entire time we've been married. So she has been working. Now, I don't know how much money she's been making off that, but still, she has been working.
So she ain't going to get half?
She'll probably get half. So if we get divorced, that's the thing. If we get divorced, it's probably my fault. So she probably going to get more than half. It is what it is.
That's what Tab always says. If something does happen to us, it'll be your fault. Like I don't care whose fault it is. I want nothing but bad for you if we are no longer together. So
I've been nice for 20 some years.
Yeah. Like I want her man to not even know how to jump a car battery off. Like just be useless. Yeah.
Mess up her credit.
Oh man, we all gonna get popped upside the head this week.
Oh, we talking about Tabitha, not me.
Shoot, you asked the question, man. So
hey, man, you didn't have to respond.
And before we go to the next question, if you did not like my marriage is overrated comment, I have another one for you, and that is weddings are the biggest waste of money in American culture.
Yes.
Agreed.
Said it. They're dumb. People taking out loans, spending 50, 60 grand on a wedding. Sorry. Y'all had the nerve to judge us for buying J's. That's $200. And y'all want $5,000 dresses and all that. No, it's too much money.
But what's crazy, even the wedding ring.
Fashion designer. Yes, go and buy those $5,000 dresses, ladies.
Good plug.
Love it. And you can always come to Jenica Kimberly and get one.
But what's crazy, like even the wedding ring, you know, I have a lot of female friends, and I remember when we were a little younger, everybody wanted to get married, and they have rings picked out, but they're single. Like, so you have this $5,000-$10,000 ring, and you don't even have the dude you're dating in mind, but you have an idea that he should be able to afford this ring.
Formula to a ring. It's a math formula for a ring.
But somebody made that up. Like, there's no logical explanation.
Was it like 3 times his monthly income or something like that?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing about it, I always ask them, would you do the same thing for him? Would you spend that same amount of money on something for him to show that you care and love him the same way? You know, you want to spend $5,000 on a ring. Would you spend $2,500 on something for him that next month or 3 months later, you know, or 3 times your salary, you know? So my thing is, it's a crop. And I'm not, the thing about it is my wife, great, awesome babe. Kudos to you. We literally was planning our wedding. I have a huge family. My mom has 15 brothers and sisters. Dad has 14, a bunch of frat brothers, a bunch of friends all over. And we started making our guest list. It got ridiculous quick. And while we were making our guest list, she's like, do you even want to do this? And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm thinking she's backing out. She's like, no, do you even want to have this wedding? And I'm like, this is all for you. Like, I really, this has nothing to do with me. And in a nutshell, she was saying, I'm more excited to be your wife than your bride. All I need for you to do is to promise me you'll go to premarital counseling, and that's it. And we can get married. And we got married, you know, 4 or 5 months later.
Sabrina, I hear you, girl. That's
my homie.
That's what's up. So
I think Jenica's wasn't that sweet. Jenica she's lazy. So Jenica, she planned a wedding for all of a day, and she was like, I ain't doing all this. This is way too much work. Let's just go to the courthouse. And we ended up going to the courthouse like the next week.
But I think what happened, because you guys came up the week before we got married, and we were saying, like, why don't you just go to the courthouse? And it was like, no, we're going to do this. And then, like, 2 days later, it was like, yeah, bro, we're going to be at the courthouse. We're going to get married this day, and we're going to do a ceremony, something small in November.
Yep.
Yeah, so
I want to keep this same energy, because last week, Razi mentioned something. He said something that made me think of this question, and I want to propose it to you guys, since we're talking about wives leaving us and all this kind of stuff. Do you guys have celebrity hall passes? Who are they? And do your wives have celebrity hall passes? And who are they? Is this something you guys have discussed, that, hey, listen, I'd never cheat on you, but if I meet such and such, I need free reign to shoot my shot?
I don't necessarily have one yet, so let me think. And so I guess I'm about to put my requisition in for my hall pass in the podcast. So I'm gonna let you guys go first. And
yeah.
hope for the best.
We're about to witness history.
I know. How many people are we saying?
Up to three. Up to three.
Up to three. So you know we gonna go 3.
So 3.
You selling yourself short. Yeah, I'm just gonna go 2. You know, that's all I need. Yeah. So y'all come back to me.
All right. So yes, we do have hall passes, or we have conversations on, you know, who we can kind of go with and things like that. And I think we had a little bit of discussion when we were asking about, so does that mean you have to like call and be like, hey, I met my hall pass, is it cool? Or do you just automatically like, you're good with it? And so our answer is yes, it's automatic. You ain't got to call and check in or whatever. If you meet your hall pass, go for it. And just tell me about it, because obviously, you know, that's it is what it is. So
you ain't gonna send a text like, what if you got supposed to pick up the kids from daycare or something, and Rihanna or somebody show up at the bank?
I'll be like, hey, yo, look
They just sitting outside the daycare.
Put your mama on the phone.
They gonna be sitting outside the daycare waiting. Razi, what happened? You remember Rihanna? Yeah, she was at the bank today. Just hypothetically speaking. So let me go back into my planning.
Okay, all right. So my hall pass list is really, I only have 2. And so, and I could probably throw a third in there. So Jenica over there whispering, but it's Olivia Munn. I don't know if you guys know her. She played Psylocke in the X-Men. She was the economist on The Newsroom.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, but she's a super huge nerd. She actually started her career on G4 TV back in the day when gaming television was just kind of getting started. She was an anchor for them. So, yeah, definitely on my hall pass list. And so the other one is just got on actually, and that's AOC. I don't know what it is about her, but I just got a crush on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Jenica knows I ever come to DC and she give me the EYE. It's on and popping.
I wish I had known this when I met her. I wish I had have known this.
So, and I really don't have a third. Like there's nobody that I'm like, oh my God, you know, I want to get with them so bad that I would risk, like we talked about last episode or a couple episodes ago, I would risk our marriage because we say it's a hall pass, but after it happens, there's going to be some discussion after that, and we know it.
Last time we talking about money.
Yeah. So I don't think there's anybody else that would just kind of be there for that on my list. Now, Jenica, on the other hand, she laughing. Yeah, y'all hear her back on there. So you want to come tell them? So her list, she's got a old white man fetish actually, and so yeah. So
I'm sorry.
What? So she is on George Clooney, like, and I can't remember. It's one other one, but I think he died, so he's off the list anyway. And now you hear over there, Davies. Keanu Reeves. That's it. Yeah, Keanu Reeves is the other one, and Davies just.
Keanu Reeves is so that's a horrible decision. I'm not judging her list, but that's just horrible.
How you gonna judge her list though, man?
It's Keanu Reeves, dude. Like it's that's horrible. I'm just saying.
From the Matrix, but I don't know how she likes Keanu Reeves. Like he's super nice, but at the same time, like
John Wick movies.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just, that's a weird one for me. But she likes him. But I don't know if y'all know Davies. He plays Method Man in Wu-Tang series. He's been in a couple other things. And so, yeah, he's a rapper now. And Jenica, we are doing a podcast. She over there, I don't know if y'all hear over there. I'm not editing that out either. That's just gonna stay in.
You shouldn't.
So, but yes, Dave East is, and she over there like swooning down.
Dave East. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the rapper, like I said, he plays Method Man in Wu-Tang. So he's acting now. He's in a couple other things. I can't remember off the top of my head, but anyway, yeah, that's her hall pass. And he just got on the list since she started watching Wu-Tang. She fell in love with him. So Dave East, if you listen, stay away from my wife.
All right, Ferg, what you got? You still need me to go? You still need to go?
I'm putting this together, so you can go ahead with me, Byron.
All right, so I'm kind of like what Tavares, and I think you even said, Razi. I don't really. There's nobody. I'm just like when I was younger, when I was like in my early teens, it would have been like Tyra Banks and that girl that was in everybody's video for a while.
Superhead.
No, not Superhead, man.
She was in everybody's video. I don't know.
She was in the Jada Kiss Knock Yourself Out video.
Don't say Superhead.
I can't think of her name right now. He said Superhead. that was too young. But Ferg mentioned her name casually. Rihanna is one of them. And I don't really have, like, it used to be Alicia Keys for a long time, so I guess for the sake of argument, I'll just throw her in there. And my third one is Oprah. It'll always be Oprah because Oprah's rich, and I'm trying to get in that wheel best way I can. So sorry about that, Stedman, but I'm about to put in a little work if I meet Oprah. And Tabitha tried to guess my list, and she did guess Alicia Keys, but she also guessed Megan Thee Stallion. And I was trying to think, have I been talking about Megan Thee Stallion that much around the house for her to assume that I want Megan Thee Stallion like that? But she said it with such confidence too. She's like, yeah, I know one of them is Megan Thee Stallion. So it's not. I mean, she can rap. She, puts on a decent show.
Well, you did talk about her in the Lost episode.
I did talk about it, and I thought maybe that's what she got that from too, because I let her hit that Lost episode. And my guesses for her were like Miguel, Stringer Bell, and somebody else. And I actually forgot her list, man. The only person I could remember that she told me was Chris Brown. So I'm going to try to get her list while Ferg is talking, and I'll come back with her list. But my three guesses were Stringer Bell, Miguel, and somebody else. But the only one I can remember off her actual list is Chris Brown. And I'll come back with the rest.
Yeah, so I just had a quick powwow with the wife. So this is just off the top of our head. So for me, and I think I mentioned this before to you guys, Janelle Monáe. There's something about that small little chick that
that's right up your alley. Janelle Monáe is right up your alley.
Fun size, man. Fun size. So, and her just sexuality, she exudes sexuality, does it for me. Hypothetically speaking, that is, of course. Yeah. And then oldie but a goodie is Megan Good. I don't know what it is about Megan Good, just has always done it for me.
She was on my list until I saw her smoking cigarettes, bruh.
Man, you just might have spoiled it for me. I just can't do maybe she was stressed, her husband was a preacher and I'm certain
maybe she's it was a character that she's playing that smokes. Maybe
that might be it. And I don't know. I think my third one, and this is just off the top of my head, it's somebody Kelly Rowland that does it for me too. Just a
complexion.
I think that might be what it is. Kelly to me was always the best looking Destiny children.
The Destiny Kids.
The Destiny Kids. I don't know what is the correct term for individual groups of Destiny children. So I don't know. But yeah, it would be those. So I think it's Megan Good, Janelle Monáe, and of course, Kelly Rowland. So I think that's where I'm staying. My wife, and I'm surprised any of you guys said this for your wives, this is her quick list. So she really didn't have time to really think about it. Was Idris Elba. Like, I felt like I don't know if that's cliche for her, but hopefully he doesn't do any movies in Houston anytime soon. And then I didn't even know who this dude was until she reminded me. Kofi Serbo. Y'all know who that is?
Nah.
He played in Girls Trip, Chocolate Brother. You know, she likes dark skinned dudes. So that's her list. She decided to go with 2. She'll probably come knocking on the door telling me her third in a sec. So
well, I think I got in trouble, fellas, because Tabitha said she would never have a hall pass list, and I shouldn't have one either. She must have been joking around that day.
Told you, it's on the www dot now, baby.
Listen, so I'll say this. The day we had the conversation, her list was like Chris Brown, Omar Epps. I just remembered the second one, Omar Epps. And she won't even tell me the third one because she's saying she don't have a list right now. So I don't have a list either, baby. You the only one for me. How about that?
That's right.
I heard that list. I heard it. Was Oprah?
Oprah need to be on her list too. However we can get that. Yeah, you know, man, let's get it. Let's go.
Hey, quietly, Michelle was kind of on my list for a sec, though.
Don't do Barack like that, man. Come on.
Hey, man, to each his own, dude.
Look, you can't talk about our first lady like that.
Oh,
I mean, she's our eternal first lady. I could be the first side dude. I'm hoping you guys enjoy this episode. It might be our last one.
Quite possible.
Byron.
Otherwise, come in and shut it down. Y'all done. Y'all done.
Razi, save us, man. What you got? Hopefully, some a lot more safer.
I guess it's a little controversial. We got a homeboy that right. So everybody who doesn't know Sherman Cooley, he's an awesome author. Writes a bunch of stuff. Terrell, yeah. He has a short story called Andre, and so in the short story, I won't give too much of it, but Andre gets into some stuff, and he has a dude in the hood that just kind of takes care of him and makes sure that he doesn't get in trouble or tries to at least stay on the right path. And what I wanted to ask you guys is, was there somebody, growing up, because we all came from the hood, we all could have gone so many different ways than what we came through and went through. And was there somebody that like stopped you and put you on the right path, or like made sure you stayed on the right path? Was like, nah, you can't do like us. You go to school. You gonna do this. You go do that.
Sheesh. I guess it would have to be a combination. It's not like I didn't have like a hood mentor or anything like that, man, that, really told me not to do this or that. But I would have to say, to answer your question, my mom and my uncle Herschel, who just retired from Peters Park, who once beat Bessemer Park in a championship game at Last People's Stadium. We won't talk about that. I just wanted everybody to know who I'm talking about. It's my turn.
Those same refs are in the NFL now.
I have not yielded the floor.
Those refs are in the NFL now.
Yielded the floor. Okay. So by Uncle Herschel keeping me involved in sports like baseball, football, and just allowing me to spend the night over there a lot of times with my other two cousins. And we would play basketball outside all day. My mom knew where I was. I didn't have time to really be out there in the streets to be doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And just her being what at the time I thought being too strict, she really was looking out for me. And, when those, you heard the joke, when those street lights came on, I knew when the street lights came on, it was time to go home, man. So those are the two people that I point to, that I look at, that really, I knew right from wrong, and I knew what I shouldn't be doing, and I knew I couldn't let those two people down.
Mm.
Well, for me, it comes as no surprise. And I guess I never thought of myself as growing up in the hood, because I was always kind of, I guess living two lives, going to Phillips Prep, being around, these preppy kids, and then coming back to Tomanville, staying on Gloria, York, which used to be Finch Ave, right around the corner from Mott Drive. And during that time period, I was going through that, I called myself becoming a man, and 15, 16, that's when my mom and my stepdad were going through a divorce. And so I was kind of left to my own device, and was trying to figure out my path. And if anybody remembers Mobile or remembers the mid to late 90s, that's when everybody wanted to be a thug. Everybody wanted to be hood. So I found myself more times than not around my cousin's house on my drive. And at that time, you know, he was living a life for me. Like, he had freedom, he had money, he had women, he had everything that I thought a young man was supposed to have. And he, you know, he probably doesn't even remember this or recognize it. But, you know, I was looking up to him as guidance. And I would be over there all the time. And he was a person that would tell me to go home. Or when I wanted to get involved in stuff that looked a little more glamorous, because I was, you know, becoming the man of the house. I needed money. And when I was trying to make $20, $30, you know, he would give me $20, $30. Or, you know, when out of uniform day came and I was trying to find some money to go buy me an outfit or whatever the case may be, you know, he's like, go in the closet, get what you need and stuff like that. Because it was always like, dude, you're too smart for this. Like, it was, and he was a few months, if a year older than me. So it wasn't like it was just, he was that much older and had wisdom. But I think he saw things in me that I'm not even saying I didn't know, but I was rejecting because I was trying to find myself. And so it was him. And I guess my other friends around me on that side that were kind of like, dude, you're not built for this. You know, like, this is not where you need to be. Even though I pushed back several times trying to, I guess, get acceptance and let them know that I can be about that life. So hats off to my cousin Tremaine. Much respect. If you ever get a chance to listen to this podcast, I really appreciate it. And my family, if you talk to them anytime soon before I do, let them know that I gave them a shout out. So really appreciate it. But I think that was pretty much it. You know, like, I mentor now, and I tell kids that, hey, I could have really went one way or two ways. And luckily I had somebody looking out for me, along with, I think at the end of the day, started to hang with you guys, and then, you know, IKs and you guys. And, you know, it took me away from being in that neighborhood that much more. Even I think, Razi, now that I think about it, being at your house all the time when I was going through that stuff, and some of the people in my church. So I think I kept trying to find my way back to that life, but it was so many different things pulling me away. And until you asked that question, I really didn't put all of it together. So appreciate all those people. Tell your family thanks. To my church family, I'm pretty sure you guys do not listen to this show, and you shouldn't. But Thais, your family, Razi, your family, and my cousin, I think those are the people that really probably had the biggest impact on me at a young age to help me get where I'm at today.
Yeah, man. I what made me think about that was, you know, I was watching some show just randomly. And actually, no, I was watching Hip Hop Evolution on Netflix. So it's an awesome little docuseries. And one of the things they were talking about was Notorious Big, and how when he was hustling, Little C's was telling the story about how, kind of like you said, Ferg, Big would give them money and let them help out and do things so that they wouldn't have to hustle. And when he made it big, he brought them with him. And that's what he thought of when he designed Junior Mafia. He was like, I'm bringing these folks out so that they don't have to hustle, so they don't have to sell drugs and everything, and they can get money with me. And so I started thinking it back in my life, and kind of like you were talking about with Tremaine, I had one of my neighbors across the street, Pooh Bear is what we called him. Like, it's funny, I don't even know Pooh Bear's real name. Like, that's, you know, we used to be at his house all the time, like playing Nintendo and stuff like that. And I remember him like in the kitchen cooking, you know, while we sitting there playing Nintendo and stuff like that. And I don't know if it was because my mom was so crazy that he was like, nah, you're not going to do this. Or he really was like, you too smart. You're not going to do this. But I was the same way, Ferg. I was like, I can be about this life. I can get on that corner. I can help you out. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And he was like, no, you know, he's like, you're at the time I was at Clark. He's like, you have a life ahead of you, man. You at a magnet school. You're not over here, you know, you're not going to end up at Viger. You're going to go to LaFleur. Like, you're going to go through this magnet program. You're going to make it out. And so, no, you're not going to come and do this. And he would never let me come out on the corner with him. He would never let me do anything that, you know, could compromise what he saw me being able to do. And like my mom used to try to keep me away from him, but truthfully, me hanging out with him probably got me enough street cred that I felt comfortable in my neighborhood, and I knew I was going to be taken care of, and I knew we were going to be good. But at the same time, him telling me, you're going to do better, you're going to do better, pushed me to continue on down the right path instead of the wrong path. And you know, if my mom hadn't have let me at least hang with him a little bit, I probably would have slid over there and did those things. So shout out to my mom, shout out to everybody. Like, a lot of people talk about I hate to kind of use the OGs or whatever, that type of, vernacular. But really, when you think about it, back in the day, people were hustling and they really would be like, nah, little dude, you ain't built for this. You're not going to do it. Like Ferg said, you're not built for it. You too smart. You got a chance to make it out. I'm not letting you get on this corner. And like, they were helping as many people as they could. And then they saw the ones that needed the money, and yeah, they'll let them on, get in. But it really was trying to take care of the community as best they could. I mean, the war on drugs and everything like that in the late 80s kind of changed that. And so then everybody started kind of doing turf wars and all that stuff. But before then, man, it really was taking care of the community, letting people make money how they could, because there was no economic activity in those neighborhoods. And that's the only thing people could do to feed their family. So, man, I just appreciate all that, everything that he did for me and helping me out get to where I am. So, I have a second part to this because I knew this was going to be like a little bit of a shorter response from you guys. So with that being said, I outgrew Pooh Bear. Like, at some point, I stopped going and asking them to be on the corner, and I started hanging with you, Ferg. I started hanging with SWAT. I started hanging with folks that really were on a trajectory to get out and do better. And so my next question is, how do you guys feel and what do you guys think about outgrowing your friends and when you just leave them behind and continue on?
It's something that has to happen. I mean, I know some people view it as turning your back on people, but if those people really truly care about you, then they will root for your success. And if you need to remove yourself from certain situations, certain environments, or certain people in order to get that success, then they should be for it. And if they're not and they don't understand it, then that's how life goes, man. I mean, some friends, believe it or not, are not forever. And so if you find yourself outgrowing them, hopefully it's for, the betterment of yourself. And it's not, it doesn't necessarily have to be a looking down on somebody either. It doesn't have to be like you putting them down or you looking down on that person. I want to say we kind of touched on this on the very first episode maybe, but you don't have to look down on somebody in order to lift yourself up. Just say, hey, like you put it, man, you outgrew him. It's not to say that you're better than him or whatever, but you outgrew whatever it was that he had going on and you moved on. So I think in a lot of situations, it's okay. I don't know if I answered your question, but that's how I see it, man.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a part of life. I don't like to use the term I outgrew, but I try to look at it. For one, I think especially the younger we are, we use the term friend so loosely that when we're saying we're outgrowing our friends, were they really our friends to begin with, or they were somebody who was convenient at that part of, during that time of our life? Most of the people I really consider my friends are still my friends and will always be my friends. Now, our friendships may change, but the people that core group I see as my real friends. And like, I moved to Houston, I moved to a completely new city and had to get to know people all over. And I had some people I was rocking with that I thought were my friends. But like the older I get, I realize they were just some cool dudes to hang with for the time being. I still rock with them to a certain extent. If I see them, it's cool, but they're not like my friends. Now, I've met some good friends in Houston. I have some good friends from FAMU. I have some good friends from Mobile. Like, these are my friends. I don't think like the three of us I don't see us outgrowing each other. Now the dynamics might change, hey, God forbid one of us gets a divorce, and now it's different just being around married people, and your lifestyle changes, so it dictates who you're around a little more. But I don't think we'll ever outgrow each other unless there's something drastic where you just completely change and you're headed down a negative path. And it was like, we got to distance ourselves from that person. But can you think about one real friend, not somebody you were cool with, but somebody you really consider a friend that you outgrew? And it might just be one or two, and it might be me. Because like I said, I'm quick to have a bunch of friends and associates from fam. But when I think about true friends, these are the people I can call or talk to any point. And I don't see myself really outgrowing these people. And sometimes I've even seen myself step away and find my way back to people. Because think about it, there was probably a point in time we might have talked for 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. But you were always somebody I considered my friend. So I knew whatever I was going through, you were going through, at some point we would reconnect, and it would be, we would be back together. Me and Razi we had our spot. We were a little more distant, never but we might not talk for months, or we didn't see each other for a year or so, but it's still, life dictates that. It was just never outgrowing. It was just, can you guys think of one true friend that you've outgrown?
That was a good clarification, man. Were they ever really necessarily your friends? And I think it can be a rare case if it's somebody that's your true friend. And I think you mentioned circumstances will have you, if you grow up with somebody in your neighborhood, that's the person because you guys happen to share the same
school bus.
And all that stuff. Yeah. But when you're that young and growing up, you don't really know what true friendship is. It's not till you get a little older that you really, I think, establish who true friends are. Mm-hmm. So I think it's one thing to outgrow. I know you don't like that term, but to outgrow someone you grew up with versus someone who you truly call your friend. Because you're right. Slim, who once called my shoes some Bobos at PE, that's my best friend. We don't talk nowhere near as much as we did when I used to live in Mobile. But I mean, the things that dude has done for me,
likewise,
from helping me get my first house, this dude has been there for me thick and thin. So he'll always be considered a friend. I can go 5 months without talking to that guy. And matter of fact, we have gone a month or two without talking. He'll call, cuss me out on my voicemail, and we keep it moving. Sometimes he call, I answer the phone, he'll cuss me out and say, all right, I'll talk to you later. That'd be it.
That's Slim, everybody.
Yeah. So you made a good point there, Ferg.
Yeah, man. That's because I think you can outgrow a friend, but I think it's when they stop growing, because as long as we both are growing, yeah, and it doesn't have to necessarily be at the same pace, but we don't have to be in the same economic strata. It's not about that. I really think it's at some point we're growing older and our life views change. And I'm before you talked about getting a divorce, and now I'm a single person with married friends. And so we not hanging out as close together. So at some point we might grow distant and grow apart. And I think we can always go back and say, yeah, we are friends. And if you need me, call me and everything. But to say that we are really, truly friends, we both have to be growing at a somewhat normal pace. I think age wise, maturity wise, it's going to be hard as people don't have kids and everything. You're talking about different things all the time, and they're not talking about those things anymore. They're not understanding why you can't come hang out, why you can't come on the trip with them. Hey, we're going to Vegas 2 weeks from now, and you can't drop everything to do that. And they don't understand that. And so eventually they're going to start going down a different path with their friends. You end up having new friends. And I can see y'all kind of going your different paths. And I think the problem is so many people try to force those relationships to stay instead of just saying we're going down different paths. You, my homie, you always going to be my friend, but we don't have to force the relationship to stay where it is. because we're going down different paths.
But I think being friends in that relationship are different. Like, you know, the thing about it is, if I'm truly your friend, no matter how far I fall or if I stop growing, you know, like I get a divorce and I'm just kind of stuck, you know, I'll always be your friend. Now, our relationship might be different. We might have some awkward moments, but we're still friends because, God forbid, you get a divorce and then you hit rock bottom. You know who you're going to be calling. You know who's going to be there for you. Like, I've never left you. We just weren't on the same path at that time. Like, it was just, I think true friendships are forever. Like, I think I was talking to my wife about this other day, you know, how friendship being such and I hate to sound sappy, a special gift because you truly choose your friends. Mm-hmm. You know, like, it's something that you choose your friends. Now, how you guys become friends, you know, back in the day, we fought, you know, we were beefing, but we always stayed friends. So I'm sorry. No,
I was just going to ask. So with that, always staying friends, is there a stopping point? Is there a point that you be like, you've gone so far left, I've gone so far right that we are cutting it off? Like, at what point do you actually cut off a friend? Like, look, I'm tired of arguing with you. I'm tired of, you know, every time I say something, you're on the totally opposite end of it. I mean,
when they cut you off on the podcast. Yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying. But I think that was those circumstances that I'm thinking were like, hey, now this dude is stealing. He's doing drugs, whatever. Like, it's just, he's no longer, not only he's not a benefit to my life, he brings my life down. When you start bringing my life down, interrupting, like, I can't judge you for, you know, stopping at your level. Like, if this is your level, this is your max, or this is the apex you see for yourself, even though I can see better things for you, that's fine. But when you start pulling me down, when you jump in my car and you got weed and stuff on you, we get pulled over and you ain't stepping up. Hey, you might have just crossed the line of our friendship. Like, because you're bringing me down. You know, when you bring not your troubles, because I'm a shoulder, you know, to lean on, but when you bring all your situations on me and you let those things affect me, you know, once or twice I get, you know, like, some things just happen. But like, when you make a conscious effort and you just bring me down, like, I got to let you go, you know. But I think that doesn't happen overnight. You know, as a true friend, I've tried to help you, but you're not getting past this. Like, dude, I can't keep rocking with you. You know, like, I can't keep staying out with you, you know, while you're out here trying to do this stuff. You know, I got a wife and kids to go home to. Like, I can't live this life with you. So, yeah, you can. But I think the majority of times those true friends you don't outgrow. But those one or two that have a downward spiral that you have to let go, and maybe hope that letting go, and when they find themselves, you can salvage your friendship. You know, I think that's big. You know, like, hey, I'm just gonna step away. So if you ever get back on your feet, we can reconnect, because if we keep on this path, ain't no way for us to reconcile this. So,
yeah, Ferg nailed it. I was gonna say, once they start disturbing your peace, bringing you down, that's when it's time to start reevaluating it and possibly stepping away. So, there you have it.
Everybody, look at your friends, man. Hold them close. Really evaluate. Friendships are great.
How many of us have them?
And hopefully your friends will bring you up. Hopefully you don't want to be the smartest person in the room at all times. That's why I'm on a podcast with these guys. So I hate to say it sounds cliche. Great podcast. I had fun with you guys, man. Hopefully it's not our last. Maybe I'll try to get Lenny on here next time so he can say something that gets him in trouble that makes us look good. Because I'm almost guaranteed he will. He will do something. So, okay. All right, fellas. Razi, what you got for us?
Nothing, man. Hey, like Byron said at the top of the show, appreciate all the help, appreciate all the support. You guys keep listening, keep sharing. Let us know what you think and any ideas that you have. We had a couple posts a couple weeks ago about what you guys want to hear about, and we're still getting people commenting on that. Keep telling us what you want to hear. Keep telling us about questions. We'll throw them in the stack, and we'll make sure they get asked. So keep talking to us.
So
the support means everything. Like, we have fun doing this, and just the engagement that we get on social media, man. My day flies by just checking it when I can and engaging with you all. So we just really thoroughly appreciate it. Like Ferg said too, I hope this wasn't our last episode, because man, I'm just thinking about some of the stuff I said. Oh boy, love you, Tabitha. Love you.
Well, I'm gonna just end with this. I guess my new thing: the 6 rules of podcasts. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and listen again, people. 3 brothers, no sense. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace.